Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But today, well, let's just say I don't do this program by myself.
That's right. My name's Mike P. Warski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most. Here on The Rundown, two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
One of my favorites.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
It's Throw Punch Thursday, bitch.
That's right. It is Throat Punch Thursday, and we have joining us today none other than the infamous, if not famous, but I'm going to go with infamous, Mr. Tom Knighton from Bearing Arms, who's going to be our guest commentator today. How are you doing, sir?
I am finer than a frog's fart.
Wow. Okay. I have no idea how fine that is. I'll be okay if I never find out, but that must be a Georgia thing.
Yeah,
sure, let's go with that.
Next time you come to the East Coast, we'll familiarize you with that.
Yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll do it around a campfire.
Well, I will tell you, while I am not very familiar with frogs, I know that when I was in Fiji, they had these frogs that would come out at night that were like this big. And there would be like a gang of them. And they would just look at you and they would mean mug you in the middle of the night.
Craig, I think that's just because you're California and you're used to being mugged in the middle of the night by a gang of things.
I was just kind of preoccupied with him talking about being mean mugged by something this big around.
Well, when there's like 2 or 3 dozen of them at one time, all kind of looking at you and going, and they're hopping up closer to you every time you turn your back, that kind of happens.
Most places charge double for that kind of action, Cotton.
That's right. Hold on. Another reason I'm not going to Fiji. There we go. Got it. Okay.
There you go. Another reason not going to Fiji. But hey, Mike, they can't climb fences.
You don't know. Did you put a fence in front of them?
Look, I guess if I told my wife, if I could convince my wife that they can't climb fences, we wouldn't be moving to Fiji either.
There you go. Tell her. You get one of them big ones that just plows its way through like it's a dinosaur frog.
He's talking about his crocodiles over there. His gators, I'm sorry, over there in Florida.
Swamp puppies.
Yeah, we got them in Georgia too.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, what's the difference between a Georgia gator and a Florida gator?
They talk slower.
Less meth.
Yeah, less meth.
Less meth.
And they can open carry in Georgia.
Yes. They can open carry here.
Well, I mean, a gator can carry all the time in Florida because he's always hunting.
There you go. That is an excellent point. So it's like, rights for thee and not for me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess based on statistics, we got to have a few, anti-open carry gators out there that think concealed carry is more tactical, and they probably carry. You just don't know it.
Probably so. Hey,
I'm not going to look.
Okay. Hey, before we get into the program and talk to our sponsors or shout out to our sponsors, Tom, do us a favor for our audience, because a lot of our audience are 2A folks and they know your stuff, but a lot of folks are just regular old conservative folk and don't really necessarily know who you are or follow 2A News. So do us a favor and share a little bit about yourself and about what you do.
I am.
Guess what day it is? Guess.
And I did that. I hate it when I do that. Go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, there's, if you don't want me to talk, that's fine.
Tom likes long walks on the beach. He enjoys.
Yes. I enjoy long walks on the beach and romantic movies. No, I am a Second Amendment writer primarily. I also talk general politics, various places. But I've contributed at Bearing Arms, where I break down 2A News all day long.
Very nice. Yeah. When he says all day long, trust me, I imagine it probably takes him 2 days to write 1 day's worth of stuff.
Nope, actually, I'm just that awesome.
You're just that awesome.
Faster than you read. Craig, he writes faster than you read, so it doesn't quite take that long.
Well, I do read pretty slow.
Man, I write fast.
Well, all right.
Craig
Well,
reads in California. You ever heard in California get one of them? I always think of Tony Gwynn when I think of people the California accent. Hey man, how's it going? You guys are great. Love having you here. Like that's just how Craig talks. He talks California speed.
on that note, Mike, how about you give a quick shout out to our sponsors?
Here, I'm gonna do it like Craig would do. Hey, welcome to Hitman Industries. Hitman Industries is the all right. HitmanIndustries.net. Get yourself some AR barrels, rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire, any caliber you desire for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. Actually, I had lunch with the guys today. They said, hey, California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you could take part in California's future today. If you like hog holsters, get on over there. Get you some tactical concealed holsters. That's HAWG hogholster.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, all spaces, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if, listen, your agency, your group of guys, whoever it may be, needs a bunch of field gear, tactical gear, web gear, police gear, law enforcement, they even got some fire service gear. I understand. I don't know what that is. I just picture a bunch of hoses. But get on over there. You can get everything except a gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do them a favor. Do us a favor. Do yourself a favor. Go ahead and visit their websites. All you got to do is follow the links in the description to this program. Go there, check them out, spend some money with them, and then make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you are watching us live, right, that's 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, on Rumble, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok. If you're watching this live, go ahead and comment. We're following your comments, and if we find them to be interesting, don't necessarily have to agree with them, but if we find them to be interesting, we'll go ahead and we'll share them with our audience. Although, as I always confer or communicate, if we disagree, we do reserve the right to mock you. It just be like it.
We will mock you.
This is the way.
This is the way. All right. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into today's stories. And this first one, now, there is a whole lot of stuff that we are learning from Doge and that we're learning as Trump's people start to take over some of these agencies. And we know that a lot of money is being wasted. Not only is money being wasted, but the whole thing is about waste, fraud, and abuse. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of that fraud and abuse. And this particular case, we're not talking about pennies. When I say pennies, like $1 million is considered budget dust on the federal level. Well, $35 billion is not budget dust, not by any stretch of the imagination. Yet and still, that is what has been discovered or is being reported by the New York Post. $375 billion EPA slush fund handled by John Podesta. If you don't know who John Podesta is, you need to do your homework before you tune into the program. Anyway, gave billions to charities founded only months earlier. And by the way, we all know these are all left-wing groups. And let me read a little bit of the story here. It says the Biden administration funneled at least $20 billion into environmental groups, most of which had only recently been founded. The Post has discovered. In one case, former Vice President Kamala Harris handed over a check for nearly $7 million to Bethesda, Maryland-based group Climate United Fund, which does not appear on the IRS's charitable database and has no federal filings. The nonprofit fund had only been incorporated in Delaware in November 30th, 2023, according to public records, 5 months before Harris handed over the cash in April of 2024. The Climate Fund then announced a historic investment in a press release, noting that the group's work delivers benefits like clean air and increased energy security. Now, all I can say is $7 billion. Was that billion? No, that was I'm sorry, that was just $1 million. To a group that didn't exist 5 months earlier. $20 billion they're finding was money that literally was sent out after after Biden lost the election, they just started just writing checks, sending out money, because they knew that once Trump got in office, they knew that they were not going to be able to just send out this money. Okay, yes, it's waste, but do you think this falls under fraud and abuse?
Oh yeah. Being from Georgia, I followed the career of one Stacey Abrams. Abrams formed an environmental group that was formed just a few months before it received $2 billion. The kick in the ass here is that they have dollars in their bank account. When they received $2 billion,
Wait.
no track record.
They had no money.
$100. That's
Oh,
right.
they had
Which is
$100.
what you need to open an account.
Right.
That's
before
what
they got
open an account.
$1 billion.
$2
$2 billion.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
sorry to interrupt. I had to.
No, that's fair. Because I mean, this is another one of those rather insane things. This falls into this exact same category. And there's, when I covered this at my Substack, I really focused on Abrams because she's got sketchy past anyways. But then it's like, this was the tip of the iceberg. 375 billion. I mean, you know what they say in government, 100 billion here, 100 billion there. Before long, you're talking about real money.
That's true.
But
True.
Wow.
It's just insane. I mean, think of all the things that could have been done with that money, like not borrowing it.
What a concept. Not borrowing money so that you can give it away.
I'm a radical, man. What can I say?
Now, all of this money pretty much came out of the Green New Deal, otherwise known as the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah. Thing you got to remember about any laws, whatever it says it does, it usually does the opposite. I mean,
You mean the cows are farting more?
yes, they are.
At least Stacey Abrams is.
Well, like you said, the cows are farting more.
That's a big bag of gas right there. That's for damn sure.
She does qualify as a gas giant.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she has a gravitational
between
pull.
them teeth up front, though.
That's like her version of the big red spot on Jupiter.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Good call.
That's what that is. But I mean, this whole thing is just absolutely bonkers. And when you consider that we borrowed that and we borrowed money from China to give to China as foreign aid,
Wow.
we're just.
We borrowed money from China to give to China.
Yeah.
And we're paying interest on that money. We're paying China interest.
We could have just not borrowed it.
That's like paying your MasterCard with your Visa.
Yeah.
See, no. It's like paying your MasterCard with cash with a cash advance that you got from your Visa.
There you go. Exactly.
Or worse, from your MasterCard.
There you go. Yes, you're right. From your MasterCard.
I mean, this is bonkers.
You know what I think it is? Guys? I think we just don't understand government accounting.
No, because we're sane.
We don't know math.
I mean, Mike, what do you think the consequences of this are? Do you think there are going to be any consequences?
At this point, I do. I've seen some stuff coming out of the DOJ, out of the Attorney General's office, and I got my hat. I noticed you guys, it was hat day, so I went and got a hat. The only one that I had in here. I've seen that they're already looking into some of the Biden crime family. What has gone on there, and to where money has come from the Ukraine and how it's gotten into certain people with the last name Biden's accounts. I don't doubt that this will get looked into. They're being very aggressive up there, not going to let this kind of stuff stand. And as you said, fraud, waste, and abuse. I mean, here's your definition of it. They're voted out of office. They have this money that should rightfully go back into the pot, into the American people, and they waste it. They blow it. 375 billion. Just to give you an idea, 375 billion. The entire GDP of 6 South Africa is 375 billion. Of South Africa, yes, 380 billion. Hong Kong, 380 billion. So you're looking at they're giving away the GDP to major countries. With what they're doing here, that is fraud, waste, and abuse. It's criminal, and I do believe it will be at some point soon. Because if there's anything of administration, it works fast. I think it'll be addressed rather soon.
Well, now, admittedly, though, it's only slightly larger than the budget of the state of California.
So many jokes, so little time.
Yes.
So many jokes, so little
GDP
time.
is 375 million, but you're
There you go. Well, we're not producing that. We're not producing that much. Yeah, we're not producing that much. We're just, we're just spending money.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of the California budget also qualifies as fraud, waste, and abuse. So
Most of it,
Yeah.
I would venture to say,
there's $18 that are actually legitimately spent.
$18 that are legitimately spent. You're not too far off, to be quite honest. But this now, once again, I still believe this is just the tip of the iceberg, because we still haven't heard much regarding the Department of Defense, and in particular, we haven't heard anything about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. I think they're trying to make sure as they go through their numbers that they are dotting their I's and crossing their T's, because they don't want to be wrong when they start throwing out numbers relating to Social Security and Medicaid in particular.
Most likely.
Listen, when you're taking care of people that are 100, 150 years old, 200 years old, 300 years old, you got to be careful. You can't take money away from them. Yeah.
It gets expensive.
I did not realize we had that many vampires getting Social Security.
That is not it. Did you not hear the president? He said America is healthier than he had thought.
That's right.
Right. Man, our life expectancy should shoot the hell up now.
Well, on a serious note, though, this is the thing I will tell you is there are two things that all of this environmentalist stuff has largely been about, and it has nothing to do with saving the earth or protecting the environment. It has everything to do with two things. Number one, controlling people, controlling us and trying to tell us where we can live, what kind of car we can drive, tell us what we can eat, all of that stuff. So trying to control the economy is issue number one. And the other is creating a market out of nothing so that they can then give money to their friends, whether it's trading carbon credits, which is something which is basically the right to pollute. All right, that's all carbon credits is, but it's creating an industry to where government can then provide funding and resources to just hand it out to liberal organizations. And that's, as they're looking through a lot of this money, it's just going to groups to do all sorts of stuff like Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, and there's actually, so far, I haven't been able to find a lot of evidence that they've done anything.
Well, of course they haven't done anything. That's kind of obvious.
You'd think they'd at least, do a little bit so that it looked good, even though, the salaries for the upper management, it would be exorbitant. They would give somebody, a stove.